Hi, good morning. Thank you for joining me. This is Katherine Jackson, and welcome to my video reflection on my DLP I shared in EDTE530 the other day. It went really well, I thought. People responded really well to the material itself, to the myth of Echo and Narcissus, little things they didn't realize that they knew, and other stuff that they didn't know. They appreciated the connection between Narcissus and mental health. And I got a lot of positive feedback about the thoroughness of my lesson plan. People liked my Sedai-inspired read-along video, which I wish I had had the forethought to send to my group members the night before. That would have saved them a lot of time. I had to ask them to read the copy in a regular classroom setting of 50 minutes. The passage takes about 5 minutes, and that's not much. The reading takes 5 minutes. If a student needed to watch the video 3 times, they would still have 20 minutes to work in class on the material, right? So that was an unfortunate cramp, and I didn't explain that very well. Lost a lot of time there. And the paperwork, at one point I looked over and Professor Carrillo's face was horrified at this monstrous mess of white paper that cluttered the desk in front of us all. And originally I had intended for those to be printed on different colored paper. The vocabulary would be on blue, and the students would know that their only responsibility would be to review the words there, look over them, see if any of them looked like something they wanted to try to say out loud, kind of a thing. And then I would address those after they'd had a chance to look through stuff. Particular passages in the packet that I wanted them to look at, I would have highlighted, and it would have been more obvious that I didn't expect them to read the whole thing. This sentence here should have been highlighted, and then on the bottoms of each of the 2 pages, Nemesis, this entry would have been highlighted, and this entry here, Narcissus, would have been highlighted. I think between the different colored papers and being able to say, okay, grab a hold of the white worksheets, we're going to talk about those right now, or make sure you've read everything that's red. And the vocabulary, I know it's horrible, but just as a reminder, right? It wouldn't have been so intimidating. And if the students had the chance to walk in, here's my classroom map, the room I imagine this all happening. They come in and they unburden themselves, and then they go to the communication center and pick up their packet and check in on the map and decide where they're going to go sit, like if they're going to sit at the kitchen table and leaf through this, or they're going to hang out at the game table, you know, put their feet up a little bit, or they feel like they want their feet flat on the floor, or maybe they want to sit at the cafe table. There should be a link they can access this material online. Oh, look, here we are. That kind of comfort of them, you know, getting to kind of look around the paperwork before I tell them what to do with it is part of the lesson style. And in class the other day, I felt like there was a rush to get through all the features, and that rush would certainly never exist in a classroom where the thing that matters is comprehension, not time. Overall, I feel like I was pretty successful. I can seem a little scattered sometimes, but my experience has been that if people hang out with me through to the end, then they see what I'm talking about, and I haven't push them into any sort of fact consumption. There are only a few things I really need them to know. As to whether or not somebody else could pick up this lesson plan and replicate it, I felt like, well, this isn't a lesson plan I would leave for somebody, because it's student-centered, but the delivery of the material, I got a little caught up on my personality driving it, and as I reflect on it now, that's clearly not the case, because it's a sound lesson plan. I just don't have a solid enough script and format where I go, okay, hand them these things, here's your time schedule, trust yourself, have a good time. I had a lot of fun. Thank you so much. Hi again, brief addendum, having watched what I just recorded. One big mistake I made, ha ha ha, I circled Nemesis instead of Narcissus. This is actually okay, though, or would be, because Nemesis is the goddess who curses Narcissus eventually. And the other thing that I would have shared with you is the significance of this button here, which would lead you to my video I referenced for the Sadai, where the body of the text is here. Highlighted words are found, their definitions below, and the asterisks indicate some guided reading, little tips for students. Thanks again.